Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful Thursday evening. And I have stuck to my promise. Like I said in the last video, I said I'd be back here today with another one. And if you haven't already checked that one out, go and check it out. If you're new and you're watching, please subscribe. Please hit the like button and share. And there you go. True to my word, we are back again with another video. And I don't know about you, but I just feel like every day is just rolling into one in a way. You know, the weeks are going by so fast now. And before you know it, it'll be Christmas. And it's ridiculous. It is honestly ridiculous. So, with that in mind, it's not going to be too long until the transfer window opens again. So today we are going to be looking ahead to the January transfer window. Will I already know the answer to this, and I'm sure many of you others do as well. Will Arsenal spend the cash? Will we be excited? Who knows? There's lots and lots of links, especially with attacking midfielders, which we can all see we need a creative midfielder. But having said that, if Mikel Arteta doesn't change his system, it's pointless buying one, because he can't even get Aubameyang and Pepe and Lacazette into the game properly with the system that's being played at the moment. So it'd kind of be a bit of a waste of money, I think, if we don't mix it up and change it a little bit to suit our players' needs. It's pointless buying an attacking central midfielder. And also, what is also going to be interesting is, although it's getting close to January, we're in November now, things can change very quickly in football. Now, will Mikel Arteta still be here in January? You know, because the way things are going at the moment, if it continues like that, I would say probably not. And also, it's clear to see that in the summer, one of our main targets was Jose Mawar. Will Arsenal go back in for Jose Mawar? Will they go and get a player that the manager wants again? Or will they divert from that target and go, oh, do you know what? There's a couple of players here available, do a similar job, cheaper. And, you know, rather than going and getting the manager's top target, let's go and get someone a little bit cheaper. So, in recent days, we've been linked to Christian Eriksen, a swap deal involving Granit Xhaka. Now, I don't rate Granit Xhaka one little bit. And I would probably buy anybody's hand off for that. You know, fly him out to Milan. See you later, off you go. Not good enough for this football club. Let's take Eriksen. But the chances of that deal happening, let's be real, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because Christian Eriksen's connections to Tottenham, I highly doubt that he would come to Arsenal. But I suppose in this day and age, you never know. One thing we will say about Arsenal is they do offer big wages to players. Big wages to players that don't deserve it. Like Mesut Ozil, for example. So maybe if Eriksen wants a bit more money, then maybe he'd make the switch, even if it meant, you know, pissing the Tottenham players and fans off. But in truth, I look at that and I think to myself, Christian Eriksen, he was a good player in the Premier League, but his last season at Tottenham, I don't know whether it was just because he didn't want to be there or whether he was, he's just gone past his peak now and he's not quite at the level that he was. Do we take a risk? Another, I suppose, good thing about Christian Eriksen is he's got Premier League experience. So he will settle back into the Premier League very, very quickly. He knows the league. He knows the players in the league. So we won't have to wait a season or two for him to adapt. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Another player, I hope I pronounced this right. I'm not 100% sure on it myself. Is it Schloberschlei from RB Salzburg? Now, I haven't seen him play. If I'm being completely honest, I've seen the links, and I've seen a lot of other fans who have channels as well, i.e., Lee Gunner, for example. Shout out to Lee Gunner, by the way. That has seen him play a handful of times, but I don't claim to know too much about him, so I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm going to big him up and say, yeah, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, because in all honesty, I haven't seen him play. But if you go off what everybody else is saying, he is a young player. Apparently he's very, very good. And the price tag that we're looking at is something that is definitely suited to Arsenal. 25 million pound, 30 million pounds, something like that. That's the sort of deal that I could see happening. And I'd be very, very surprised if Arsenal wasn't interested in him, if he's as good as what everybody is saying he is. But who knows there? Another player, the player who I think we should go and get, is Houssem Aouar. And now Houssem Aouar, again, I can't sit here and say, yes, he's a great player. Oh, he's so good. Because in all honesty, I haven't really seen him play. I see him play in the Champions League a couple of times, but apart from that, I haven't seen him play. But the reason why I would go and get him over all the rest of them is because, and this is if Mikel Arteta is still our manager by then, the only reason I would go and get him is because it's Mikel Arteta's main target. It's a guy that Mikel Arteta wants. How can you expect the manager to succeed if you don't give him the players that he wants? So I'd be very disappointed if Arsenal went, we're really interested in Houssem Aouar in the summer, and then they turn around to Arteta and say, well, we're not getting him now. You're going to have to settle for this player or this player, someone that Mikel Arteta probably maybe doesn't necessarily want. Don't make the same mistakes that Manchester United have made. Go and get the players that the manager wants. And then, if he still is doing shit with the players that he's brought in, then at least then the fans can say, well, the board have backed him, which I do think Arteta's been backed anyway, but we can say even more, the board has backed him. He's got no excuses. So, but in all honesty, if I look at this, right, Liverpool are the best team in the league. They won the league last season. They won the Champions League the season before. And personally, I believe, even with all their injuries that they've got at the moment, I still believe that they'll win the league this year. Right, so Liverpool are the team that every single Premier League team aspires to be. Yeah, they are top of the pile, and everybody else is chasing them. Right, now you look at how Jurgen Klopp built Liverpool up. He didn't spend a massive amount of money. He did spend a bit of money, but even still, Arsenal, in the time that Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool, Arsenal, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty certain that Arsenal have spent more money since Liverpool employed Jurgen Klopp. Yet we're a million miles away from them. And I look at it like this, right? You can go and buy a player who's the next best thing or is very, very good, and you can go and get them from a foreign league like La Liga or Ligue 1 or Serie A, yeah? But if they've never played in the Premier League before, 9 times out of 10, players need time to adapt. You're seeing it now with Nicolas Pepe, right? He's had a season and a bit to adapt, and I still don't think he's fully at his best. And at the moment, I don't particularly rate him anyway until he proves me otherwise, right? Now, the one thing about Liverpool is yes, they brought in players like Alisson. Yes, they brought in Mo Salah. But, and they're the two players who came in from a foreign league, but Mo Salah had Premier League experience with Chelsea. He knew what the league was about. Okay, he didn't make a success of it at Chelsea, but he knows what he's coming into. He knows what to expect. He knows how to adapt his game to suit. Now, you look at Liverpool's core, just for an example here. You got Alisson. Yep, came from a foreign league, but he was everything that they needed. And he still is everything that they need, right? Then you got Van Dijk. Van Dijk, again, a player. Yeah, they didn't buy him from a foreign league. He didn't have to have a season or two to adapt to the league. He came in from Southampton, already playing in the Premier League, already adapted, and he hit the ground running, and he's been exceptional ever since, right? And just getting better and better and better and better. And he's now arguably the best centre-back in the world, right? Then you look at their midfield, yeah? Jordan Henderson, another player, right? A player who was signed from Sunderland as a young lad, and a lot of Liverpool fans thought he was dead and buried in the water, wanted him out. He just didn't look like he could cut it at Liverpool. And then Jurgen Klopp came in, and the rest is history, really, you know. Jordan Henderson has been, again, exceptional ever since. Sadio Mane, another player who didn't have to have time to adapt to the Premier League. They brought him in from Southampton again. He's already adapted to the league. He knows it. Same with Gini Wijnaldum. Yeah. Who else is there? Robertson as well. Yes, he got relegated that season, but he just played a full season in the Premier League with Hull. So, where I think teams like Arsenal and other teams as well, who are trying to build to be back at the top again, and obviously as Arsenal fans, we're very impatient. We've had to put up with the last 4 or 5 years of Arsene Wenger's reign was just horrendous. Emery came in, did all right in his first season, but then it went to absolute pot in the second season. And now it's looking like it's happening again with Mikel Arteta. And we as fans are not about this, we're very impatient. We're not about this, let's wait 2, 3, 4 seasons before we get it right. And yes, I know it took Klopp a little bit of time to get it right at Liverpool. But I just don't think we are smart enough in our recruitment strategy. Whereas as Liverpool, very smart in their recruitment strategy. They brought in a whole host of players that already had Premier League experience. They didn't need time to adapt. They're in the squad. And then they picked players that suit their system from foreign leagues, the best players in them leagues, or up and coming best players in them leagues, and then built the team around that Premier League core, so to speak. So if it was me and I was looking at a midfield target in January or in the summer, and I wanted a player who could pretty much guarantee, he would guarantee that he'd hit the ground running straight away, you got to look at players in the Premier League. Players that are already playing in the Premier League that don't need time to adapt. So, talking about Hosimawaz and Szoboszlai and who was the other one? Isco as well. Isco, another top class player. But is he going to be able to adapt to the Premier League quick enough? He's 28 years old. If it takes him a season and a half to adapt to the league, let's just say for argument's sake, by the time he's actually starting to perform in the league, he's then 29, 30, and you're probably only going to get 2, maybe 3 good seasons out of him. And he's already, at that point, he's already past his best. So, just look, Arsenal. We're crying out for a creative midfielder. We need one, yeah? Mesut Ozil is out of contract in the summer, right? And I know that is in the summer, right? But while the team is struggling now, and it's all laid bare for us to see that we need a creative midfielder, just go and get Jack Grealish. Just go and get him. Pay the money. Pay the money and go and get Jack Grealish. Yeah? And if you want somebody who offers maybe slightly more than Jack Grealish, and you can pick him up for a similar price, because let's be real, Aston Villa are not going to take any less than 70, 80 million pound for Jack Grealish, right? If you want a player who probably offers a little bit more in the goals department, and you're going to get him for a similar price to Jack Grealish, go and get James Maddison. We are crying out for goals in the midfield. We're seeing it now. If Aubameyang does not score, yeah, we're dead. Absolutely dead. Because we've got no other players in that team who consistently score goals. And the one area where we haven't scored goals from ever since Aaron Ramsey's left is midfield. We need more goals from midfield. We get more goals from midfield. Maybe that'll help us, push us up the table anyway. And maybe that'll help the front three to also get more goals. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Who should we get? Will Arsenal spend in the summer? In January? And will Mikel Arteta still be here in January? Will we get the targets that our manager wants? Or will we just go cheap again? Will we, as Josh Kroenke has said, will we be excited, or will we see the same old rubbish as we do every single season? Yeah? Will we reach that point again where it becomes too late to do anything about it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed so far. I'm out.